Welcome to my Dreamcast. This is episode 3, Death and Rebirth. So, last night, this is actually the dream that I had last night. I had this dream, and I woke up, and I knew that I wanted to make a video about it. Because I remembered a lot of the dream, and it was also I think it was a really funny dream. Maybe not like all funny, but it was like it was funny in the way that dreams are funny, you know. So the first part of the dream starts out with me driving, and it's not just any car that I'm driving, because obviously it's not. This has got to be a special car. So it's a green Aston Martin Vulcan, which, if you know what that car is, it's like super expensive car, super rare car as well. And if you also know the game Forza Horizon 4, there was a specific version of this car in that game, which it was the Forza edition. It was like a special edition car, and that was the one that I was driving, or at least that's I'm pretty sure that's what it was supposed to be, is that Forza edition car, and I was driving it. And in that game, actually, there's this lake on the left side of the map, and like it wasn't exactly like that, but there was definitely like a pretty big body of water on my right side, kind of like in the game, but I was a lot closer to the water. But also, like further off to my right side, there was like the windmill farm, which is on like the completely different side of the map in the game. But you know, it's my dream, so it'll just do whatever the freak it wants. So I'm driving this car, and if I remember correctly, I'm going the speed limit. I'm not going super fast. And in front of me, the road just kind of like slowly dips down into the water. There's like a bunch of water. So, you know, being incredibly intelligent, as always, I decide to speed up and try and get across the water. And as I'm driving full speed into this water, my ever lovely and super cool car just turns into a boogie board, and I'm just like skimming across the water, and I almost get to the other side. I was very close to getting it to the other side, but I fell a little bit short. But unfortunately, a whirlpool just pops up right beside me, and it's like a smaller whirlpool. But if you know anything about anything, then you know that all whirlpools are extremely dangerous. And that was portrayed really well in my dream, because I started like panicking really bad, and I was like trying to like really rush and try and get away from the whirlpool, but it didn't work. And I also remember being really frustrated that I was like tied to the boogie board. I had the thing around my ankle, and I just couldn't get away, and I got sucked into the whirlpool, and I think I actually died at that part in the dream. But no worries, because the dream goes on. So the next part of my dream has me at my work, and I think what was being portrayed is me just like sitting at the place that I work. We have like a bar area, and then behind the bar is where your like employee stuff is. So like all of the supplies, that's where we have the trays that we serve the food, and then the manager's office is over there, and then further back is the kitchen. And I was kind of in that employee area, but for some reason there was a chair, and I was like leaning back in the chair and on my phone, kind of looking at fan art, I think, if if I remember correctly. And then it kind of, after a little bit, I don't know if anybody talked to me. I think I remember somebody talking to me while I was in that chair, and I kind of like sat up, and then it switched to me being at the bar, and I was still on my phone and stuff, and I didn't have any food. I was just on my phone, and I remembered in the dream that I was supposed to be working. Because why would I be at work if I'm not working, you know? So I got up and I went and got into the kitchen, and if you work in food service, you know there's tickets, and there's like specific times that the tickets come in, and you want to get the tickets out as quickly as possible just to make everybody happy. Well, there was only one person in the kitchen, and at the place that I work, it takes forever to make wings because we have to cook them from raw on like non-Friday days. And there was like 4 orders of large wings, and large wings are 24 wings. So that's like a fuck ton of wings for one singular person, plus all of the other stuff. I don't know. I do remember there being like large wings, and I remember there being a lot of wings. And I look up at the screen, which displays the tickets like virtually. It's just a sea of red. The entire screen is filled with red tickets that, like, I think they're tickets that have been completed, but they just haven't been taken off the wall. Like that happens really often because, like, we just get busy in the kitchen. But yeah, so she's like struggling super bad, my coworker, and I just don't help her at all for whatever reason. I just decide I'm gonna do some dishes, and what I had to wash was like take like you know, like a laundry basket, how it's like bendy, and it has like all the holes in it and stuff. It was like that, but smaller. It like fit in a sink, and for some reason I was washing it in the hand sink, because the dishwashing sink and the hand sink, they're very, very different. According to most people, some people wash their hands in the dishwashing sink. You shouldn't do that. But I was washing dishes in the hand washing sink because I guess I'm just that I guess I'm just that cool. So, and it was, let me tell you, this little laundry basket mesh thingy amalgamation was drenched in Thousand Island dressing. Like, it was just full of Thousand Island, and no idea why. It was really messing up my water, and it kind of frustrated me, because why is there so much Thousand Island? Isn't this a waste? But I washed it anyways, because, you know, what else am I gonna do? Help out my coworkers? What are you, crazy? So I washed the mesh thingy, and after that, my kitchen workplace kind of turned into like a boardwalk. maybe this will be like a super weird comparison, but if you know like the Mario Kart, like, what's it? I think it's called like Ghost Valley or something on Mario Kart Wii. Like, that looks super similar to what my kitchen had kind of turned into. Like, it was like the boardwalk, and instead of boxes on the side, it was more like rope fences along the borders, but it just turned into a wooden boardwalk basically. And there was this dude that kind of just showed up, and he was like, "Hey, what's up, guys? I'm evil. How about fuck you?" And he like goes into this door, which also showed up, and he like disappears behind the door. And for some reason I knew he was evil. And then, you know, obviously, since it's a dream, I just kind of turned into Wolverine. And I'm like sharpening my claws on the ground, like it's supposed to be a Wolverine, not a cat. But I guess we'll take whatever superhero representation in dreams we can get. And like sharpening my claws on the ground, and this guy is behind the door, and he hears me doing that, and he's like, "Oh, you'll never catch me this time, Batman." And well, I did, because he opened the freaking door anyways, and he had his own Wolverine claws, because what even is consistency anyways? Who even cares about consistency? So he like thrust his claws at me, and I grabbed them, and I can feel, like, I actually felt the sharpness of the blades on my skin. But I grabbed his blades, and I jump up, and I'm like trying to stomp his head. And we go like back and forth for a little while, just trying to beat each other up. But for whatever reason, I'm completely opposed to using my claws on this dude, even though I'm literally Wolverine. Like, I have claws coming out of my fists. But you know what? Whatever. I don't care. I don't even want to be Wolverine. I just want to stomp on people's heads. I guess. So after that, I woke up. I woke up naturally. I didn't have my alarm clock wake me up, which hasn't happened for a little while. I don't know why. But yeah, that's what happened in the dream. And you know, I've been having my like workplace show up in my dreams a lot more often, especially, you know, since I've been working. But like especially recently, a lot of my dreams have had my like workplace in them, or some kind of stand-in for them, because this time it was like I could recognize that it was my workplace. But there have been a few dreams in the past where it doesn't even look even close to similar to where I work, you know? And yeah, I think that's just because work is becoming a lot more, it's becoming a lot bigger of a part of my life, where it's a lot of what I think about on a day-to-day basis, you know? Like, I think about my personal life, I think about what I want to do in the future, and I think about work. That's like basically the three biggest things that I think about right now. And work is like 1/3 of all of it. And I also think that maybe me like refusing to use my claws on Dude Chacho that was like, he was evil and fuck you guy. I think that was probably just because I don't like hurting people. Like, I knew he was evil and stuff, or like as close as somebody can be to evil or whatever, but I don't like inciting violence, and if I'm gonna have to incite violence, then I would prefer to do it in like the least painful or least violent way, which I guess using a sharpened weapon against somebody is a little more violent than stomping on their head. Because I grabbed his hands, like walked up him, I'm like on his shoulders, like drop kicking his head, and that's a little less violent than stabbing him. I don't know. My brain works in very, very strange ways. And also, I think that first part with like the boogie board and the Vulcan, I don't know. I've always kind of had like a small fear of water, so maybe that has something to do with why that kind of popped up. But like I also do get kind of nervous driving in the rain, because like I drive a front wheel drive car, and it can be like really easy to get your tires to lose traction, especially when you're starting out, because of how front wheel drive cars work, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed hearing about this dream, and if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching my video. I will see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.